all like eating food, right? And because Ramadan is coming up in just 30-something days, we're going to stop eating food for some time, and all your coworkers are going to be like, "How do you go without food? This is crazy." And they always ask that. How are you not? Why are you not dead? Why are you not a skeleton? They always ask, and it's because they've never thought about it. Is it even possible to go 30 days, holding yourself back? It's tough. It's not a piece of cake. It is tough. So, subhanAllah, today we're going to talk about the process of eating and some of digestion and how that works, because we just take it for granted, right? We see the nice pizza in front of us, ice cream cake or whatever it is, and we just put the whole thing in our mouth and we're like, "Oh, this is delicious," and then it goes somewhere else and then that's it. We're all set, right? We're ready to go. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is such a smart, such genius behind how this works. It's incredible. There's no way, right? The reason why we go through these things is to get appreciation of the miracles of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have, that we take for granted every day. These are ayat. These literally are examples, miracles, whatever you want to call them, signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. Because there's no way this is random, by chance, atoms slamming together after a big explosion to make these systems. And you're going to realize it. You're going to see it. سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ. That I'm going to show to them with complete clarity, completely, the ayat, the signs, the miracles, everything in the skies, in the heavens, in the universe, and fi anfusihim, and inside your own selves. And so that's what we're going to try and accomplish until it's completely true to them, totally bayan to them, totally apparent to them that this is the truth. Subhanallah. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. What's the first thing? Let's say I bring a humongous cheese, amazing, steaming hot pizza, and I put it right here on the table, and you want to eat it. What are the processes that start to happen before you even put this pizza? Is back there biryani? Is it super spicy? I already said biryani, super spicy, and all your mouths are starting to water. I see it. There's drooling going on back there. The Arab brothers are already sweating.
The smell kicks in for the pizza?
Subhanallah, very good. That's what I'm trying to get at. All right, tell me the senses. He can smell it from here. The smell. Once you start to smell the food, you're already starting to get things going. Seeing the food and smelling the food, before you even put the food in your mouth, Allah SWT designed the system, smart engineer, genius engineer, right? He said, you need to start to get your mouth moist, ready to be able to accept this food. So, as soon as I said biryani spicy, you probably feel it. You probably feel, if I say something like, when you were kids, you guys probably had these candies that are very, very sour. Super sour candy, right? It makes your mouth into a certain shape. If I'm talking about it right now and you used to have it when you were a kid, you're probably feeling it something. You're probably feeling a little bit of something motion here. It's just me telling you about it and you're already starting to have this, maybe it's like a little pain, a little uncomfortableness feeling. And that's because you have these huge glands here. You have parotid gland, a couple of these are secreting juices into your mouth. To start to get you ready to break down this food. Subhanallah. Really amazing. Okay, so just smelling the pizza, thinking about the pizza. You don't even have to smell, you're just thinking about it. You're looking at the pizza, you're already getting ready for digestion. Okay, now you're going to go and you're going to pick up the pizza. Alright, you pick it up, so now you have vision, you're looking at it, you're smelling it as you bring it closer, and then you're going to touch the food. The only way to eat food is you have to touch it, right? So you already got 3 senses. What else is missing now? There's 5 senses. What else is missing? Hearing. Do you hear the food? Well, maybe when you start to eat it. Yeah, is something sizzling? Oh, I like that sizzling. You can just feel like the vapor coming off if it's really hot, or if it's really cold, you can see the smoke coming off. What's the last sense? Discount? No, that is not a sense. No. What's the last sense? Taste. Now you're going to put it in your mouth and you taste it. Yeah, mashallah, good. Yeah. Okay, your teeth. Have you stopped to think about your teeth? Are all your teeth the same shape and the same size and the same sharpness? No, they're not. And some animals only eat meat. Have you seen their teeth? Animal that only eats meat is what, guys? What's our animal only eats meat called? Very good, carnivore. Like a, shark or a lion or tiger, whatever, bear. These animals eat meat, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed them that when they were born, they don't like eating, not like Lion King, where they eat, worms and grass and all that. They can't. If you give a lion grass, he's going to die. He doesn't like it. He won't eat it. He won't even eat it. If you put the grass in front of him, he won't know what to do. It's not in his brain. Amazing. Who taught them that he's not supposed to eat this thing, he's supposed to eat this thing? It's really amazing when you think about it. This is like almost like a wahi, like a inspiration into them, like how they know what they're supposed to do, right? Okay, so he only eats meat. Some animals like cow, goat, all that, herbivores only eat grass. If you look at the teeth difference, there's a teeth difference, right? They have different kinds of teeth. We as human beings can eat both. SubhanAllah. So Allah made us designed very cool. So the front teeth, very, very sharp. Anyone who has kids, if they bite you, you know. Super sharp teeth, right? If you put your finger all the way at the back, it hurts because there's a lot of pressure. Super pressure, but it's not sharp. The back teeth are the flat teeth. They're the ones that the animals like cows and goats have. They're the flat ones. The sharp ones are the front. And then you even have incisors, the ones that are like the canines. Those are the ones like the wolves have, the sharks have, the fangs and all that. These are the ones that tear apart meat. You have different teeth at different parts in your mouth so you can accept different kinds of food. SubhanAllah. Don't think about it, right? And how did these teeth get in the right spots? And they're symmetrical. And the ones in front are different than the ones here, than the ones here. And how did they all grow? When you're born, you don't have any teeth, no teeth. And somehow you have to make teeth just from drinking milk. Right? You have to make all of this stuff that you're going to make, your liver, your kidneys, and all that stuff is in your mom's womb. You're getting developed, and that comes out before you even eat anything. You didn't even eat or drink anything, and you already have all those organs made. Somehow, someone else is eating for you, and you're getting your organs built. That doesn't make sense, but it's happening. Right? Someone else is eating for you, drinking from you, doing everything, and your organs are getting built. So some crazy thing is happening there, and that's the embryology and anatomy and all that, how that's happening. But then the teeth formation, you're not born with anything in your mouth. And somehow there has to be some sort of chemical reactions to make the teeth, and then the teeth have to erupt through the gums. And anyone who has kids knows that like the kid starts having like loose stools and fevers and all this other stuff, because why? You can't just take the tooth and pull it out with the string. The teeth has to come out by some sort of reaction. Something in the brain is telling the tooth to come out, and how does that happen? I mean, it's really a miracle. Every single one of these systems has like a million things going on in the background to make this stuff happen, and it's not random. To say this is all random and atoms colliding, you have to be crazy to believe that. Okay, that's just the teeth. What else is in your mouth to get the food ready? Saliva, tongue, your cheeks. Your cheeks are very smooth inside. They don't cut you. Imagine if you had teeth all around. And when you start talking or something, you could bite your tongue or bite your lips or bite your inside. This is all smooth. Anytime you have something that's very hot, something that's too hot or something that's sharp, very rough, and you bite it, what happens? Sometimes you can cut yourself inside. But now, your mouth is always moist. You always have saliva. Sometimes you brush your teeth or you floss and you start bleeding, or you go to the dentist and you start bleeding. Imagine when you cut your finger and you put it in water and you leave it there. Is it going to heal? It's never going to heal. It's going to keep bleeding out. It'll keep bleeding. Your platelets don't have time to repair and cause the formation of the blood clot to stop. But your mouth is always moist. It's always hot. Always hot. So exact opposite of what you want for wound healing is in your mouth. It has bacteria. It has everything in it. Has tons of bacteria. Saliva has a lot. And your somehow wounds heal. It's like if you think about why this is happening, how this is happening, you burn your mouth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that you're going to eat things that you're not supposed to eat sometimes. Imagine if you ate something that was super hot and now you destroyed your mouth and now you can never eat again. What would happen then? Do we even think about this? You burn your mouth, the roof of the mouth is hot. You eat the cheese pizza, it was too hot, the sauce was too hot, cheese was too hot. You burn it and it's uncomfortable for a day or two, but it grows back. What is going on here? Like, how is it growing back? And it's growing back when you have a wound there. You have bleeding and all. If you spit, its blood is coming out, but it's still happening. SubhanAllah. All these things we take for granted. Your tongue, very, very strong muscle. Very strong muscle. There's so many muscles in the tongue. If you look at a cross-section of your tongue, what it looks like, and the nerves that control the tongue. The tongue moves in multiple directions. The tongue can move forwards and backwards, left and right. You know, some people who do that thing with their tongue and spin it or whatever, like a whale, like a circle, right? So all these things are different muscles and different nerves. And if you turn off one of these nerves, you can't do it. If someone has a stroke and you ask them to stick their tongue out, their tongue goes to one side. And if they stick their tongue out, this can go to the other side. Or they start choking on their own saliva. People have stroke. Stroke means part of your brain has been shut off because there was a brain bleed or there was not enough oxygen. Your brain, subhanAllah, gave ability for us to control the tongue without us even thinking. We don't even think about it when we're talking. I'm not even thinking how to move my tongue and it's happening. Right? SubhanAllah. So now your tongue has multiple muscles, it has multiple nerves, and we can shut off different nerves, subhanAllah, when we do anesthesia, because there's different operations we have to do in the mouth. Imagine when your dentist has to go and numb you up. Rather than put your whole body to sleep and give you an IV and you go completely to sleep, he can do a nerve block. Right? Imagine you have to do facial reconstruction surgery, how we do that. How we do surgery in the mouth. So how do you shut off certain parts of the sensory system or the motor system? Okay, different parts of your tongue have different taste. If you look at a map of the tongue, not every part senses sour. Not every part senses salt. Not every part senses bitterness. Not every part, so each part of your tongue has different receptors. SubhanAllah, really incredible. One fast fact, really amazing, the front part of your tongue is very sensitive to what? Salt. There's a hadith about this actually. It's really incredible. That if the wife is cooking food, someone's cooking food and they need to know the amount of salt, is it ready or not, and she's fasting, she's allowed to taste it right there at the front of the tongue, because that's where the salt receptors are. Amazing. So subhanAllah, the different things. This is just mouth. Then you have different enzymes. You know why when you have chewing gum, why doesn't chewing gum dissolve in your mouth? If you put a piece of bread, it dissolves. You put cheese, it dissolves. If you put pizza in your mouth, it dissolves. All these other foods, put a piece of meat, it starts to get soft and wet. Chewing gum doesn't do that. Why? You ever think about it?
It's a gum.
It's a gum, but what's the problem? Why doesn't it dissolve?
There's saliva in it.
There's?
Saliva, that is moisture.
Yeah. The chewing gum ingredient that is made, for everything in your that you have, is made up of different things like sugars, proteins, fats, all these things, right? Most of the things that start dissolving in the mouth are carbohydrates. They start breaking down into starches very, very fast, and sugars. This is why if someone is diabetic and they're starting to have seizure in front of you, or they're starting to go like lights out, eyes are rolling back, all that stuff, their sugar is low, what do? You can immediately take something sweet and put it right underneath their tongue. Right, immediately. And immediately, within like 5 seconds, boom, they're back. It didn't have to go into the digestive system, into the stomach, and go through the blood system and all that stuff. What is going on here? It's crazy. Allah SWT knows there's going to be diabetics. So to save their lives before they go into seizure and completely die, what did He design a system? Immediate uptake for sugars into the mouth. Immediate. It's immediately, you have amylase in your saliva. It breaks down the starches into sugars very, very, very fast. Extremely fast. Different than proteins, different than fats that go more deeper into your digestive system. Because there's no problem, there's no medical condition that we know of today that you have a decrease in fat that you need to immediately save someone's life. There's no protein deficiency immediately you have to save someone's life. But there is a sugar deficiency. SubhanAllah. Amazing. And so that's the only one that gets absorbed very, very fast right from the mouth, and you have lots of blood vessels. Underneath your tongue, there's a huge blood vessel. If you ever look, you lift up your tongue, there's a very, very dark vein under there, and there's another artery there, you don't see it. But all of it is very highly vascularized. So immediately the uptake comes within seconds, and it goes straight to your brain. Crazy. Okay. Saliva moisturizes everything. We'll stop at 9 o'clock. So only 10 minutes left, inshallah. Saliva moisturizes everything because if you were to swallow the food without having any wetness on it, it would be very, very difficult. Okay, let's say you go to space. I'm in space now, or maybe I'm underwater, or maybe I'm upside down. All of these will be the same scenario. If I'm upside down, I'm doing a handstand, and I'm standing on the wall. I'm doing a handstand. My hands are on the carpet, my legs are up, and someone gives me a straw to drink water. Am I going to be able to drink it? Are you sure? You guys don't know? You never tried it before? What if you're in space? Do people survive in space? You have to be in a space station. Yeah, you can't survive, you're right. You can't survive in space by itself. You have to be inside an oxygen container. So if you're in a spaceship, can you survive? There's microgravity. There's no gravity, right? There's nothing to, when you drink water here on Earth, everything goes down. So if you're standing straight and you drink water, it goes down into your stomach because your stomach is below your mouth. If I flip upside down and I drink water, my stomach is above my mouth. Is it going to go into my stomach? It's a question. You guys never tried it? All right, when you guys go home, you should try it now. Think about it. How is this is crazy. Okay, if my stomach is above my mouth, is it going to flow? What is the potential difference? You guys know physics?
But
Things.
It should go in, but there's a flap that it shuts off.
Where's the flap?
The flap is in the throat.
Okay, there's a throat. It's called the epiglottis. Okay, you have no flaps from here to your stomach. So now what? Esophagus is the pipe that connects from your mouth to your stomach.
Between the stomach and the pipe, there is a small thing.
That's the epiglottis that Kwasai is talking about. It shuts down. The importance of the epiglottis is what? What's the importance of the epiglottis? It's this flap that shuts down what? Capillary force? What? Huh? MashaAllah, very good. So you don't aspirate. So you don't take food as your same mouth and your same nose, they connect back here, and it's the same ones that you take food in, and it has to get into your lungs and not your stomach. How do you make a system where you can breathe through your mouth and your nose, it goes through the same system, and the air does not go into your stomach, but the air goes into your lungs, and the food goes into your stomach, and the food doesn't go into your lungs? Make a system like that. Try it. Wow, but how you do it is crazy. It's amazing. So you're right. So when this happens, you get a very bad pneumonia. It's called aspiration pneumonia. It's lethal. You die from that. You go to ICU because of this. So if you take it in the wrong pipe. Okay, so that's a different discussion and all that stuff, right? So answer the question now. If I'm upside down, there's a potential difference. Things go from high pressure to low pressure. Things go from high voltage to low voltage. This is the flow of things. This is the laws of physics. Things have to go from high to low. Okay? Now, if I'm here drinking water, my mouth is here, my stomach is down here, I drink it, makes sense. We do it all day. If I flip upside down, or I'm in space, there's no gravity to hold it down. So if I drink water, if you've ever seen space, those guys, they pour water and it stays there. Nothing happens. It just stays there. So if I drink water, it just stays there. You guys don't think about this stuff? I don't sleep without this stuff. Okay, subhanAllah. Allah subhanAllah, the best engineer ever. He made a system. Their esophagus is a very, very strong muscle. It's a tube, but it's a muscle. And what happens is as soon as something enters the esophagus, there are receptors in there that make the esophagus start to squeeze in a one-direction way. It's called peristalsis. So as soon as it enters, it starts to squeeze like this. And it pushes the food all the way down. And it doesn't matter if it's solid food or liquid food or any food, or you're upside down or there's no gravity. There is gravity. No matter what, if you're upside down or you're in space, if you drink upside down in space, the water, as soon as you drink in your mouth, you swallow, it will go to your stomach and it will stay there. It's not going to come back up.
I don't understand. The pipe is like that?
It's not just a pipe, it's a muscle. It squeezes. You know, you have to milk something. If you're going to milk something, you squeeze it. This is what is happening with this pipe. Anytime there's an expansion, the expansion in the esophagus that occurs, immediately there's a reflex that the esophagus shuts down, so it will squeeze. And then it comes to the next level of the esophagus, and it expanded, it squeezes. Comes to the next level, it squeezes. It's pushing down. So even if you're upside down, you still have peristalsis, and it is much stronger than even gravity. So you can be upside down, and you can still swallow. So this is why astronauts do not die in space. If you take a bird, the thing that flies, tayr, you take him to space, does he drink like that too? Birds drink water from the ground, and then he sits up and he swallows it. Can you take a bird to space?
I think they have taken it out.
Have there been experiments where birds go to space? How can a bird be upside down and drink water? Come on, guys, what's going on here? Huh? They've taken animals to space. They have. They grow plants in space. They do a lot of stuff in space. Okay. Bird does not have the muscular esophagus. He has only a tube. So the bird, he has to be straight up. He drinks it, it goes into his stomach. If he's upside down, he cannot drink. If he's in space, he cannot drink. He will die in space. Human being can go in space. Bird cannot. SubhanAllah. Allah subhanahu designed space for us too. Right? سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. SubhanAllah. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. What else you want to talk about? Stomach. When you eat these meats, you eat the cow, you did the zabih of the cow, you say Bismillah, you eat the cow, and he's in your stomach. Your stomach is made of meat, just like the cow. Your body is made of meat, just like the cow. Why is your stomach not digesting itself? Do you think about it? Think about what I'm saying. The meat you eat from the cow is meat. Big slab of steak. You eat it, and you're made of meat too. It's the same meat. He's called a cow, you're called a human being. Doesn't matter. It goes into the stomach, and you have to get a way to digest this meat without killing your stomach, without your stomach also digesting itself. Okay, the acid is how it breaks down. And it's a very, 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 very strong acid. So strong as hydrochloric acid that if you put this acid like on metal or anything, it'll put holes in these things. Tell me more.
How is the stomach holding that?
Huh?
How is the stomach holding the acid?
How's it holding that? That's my question. How is it holding this acid? First, how does acid get in there? Once, how does the acid, so where's this acid coming from? You're not drinking acid. And there's no way into the stomach except from the esophagus, and then it comes out the other side. There's no other way into the stomach. The stomach has 2 holes only. The esophagus entry, and you're not drinking the acid, and this is the exit out into the intestines. Okay, I like that. Stomach is generating acid. Okay. Okay, stomach is generating acid, very strong acid. How come it's not digesting itself? Bacteria you don't want in the stomach. In fact, the acid will kill all the bacteria. Enzymes, okay, there's no enzymes in the stomach. There is no enzymes yet in the stomach. It's just acid. Stomach lining? Okay, I like that answer. Huh?
I don't understand how does the acid get inside because
How does acid get inside? I'm asking you, man.
no, because you have the liver.
Well, it's 9 o'clock already. You guys.
I know, but the liver is there. The liver is actually designed to make the acid.
No. Liver makes other enzymes. So liver makes other things to break down other things. Stomach only makes acid, hydrochloric acid, very, very, very low pH, very strong. Very strong. If it comes out, you feel it sometimes. When it comes up the wrong way, it burns like crazy.
What happened, man? Help us out. I think when food comes down, I think something triggered that, okay, produce the acid.
Produce acid. Okay, I like that. So there are cells in the stomach that produce acid, yes. There are cells, and there's a lot of those cells. And they produce this acid. But how do these cells make this acid and it doesn't destroy the cell? It's crazy, right? This is the same acid that will destroy all the other meat, but it doesn't destroy the meat it's being made in. What is going on? Yeah, it's a tough one. Okay, I like the lining. What is the lining? Tell me about the lining.
It's like a liquidy thing. It isn't like a liquid, but it's
Okay, you're very close.
it's like a slime.
Is it like a gel?
It's like a gel. It's mucus. You know stuff you start coughing up? Mucus? Mucus is water. If you ever have mucus and you blow your nose and you put it doesn't water doesn't really come off. It's slimy, right? It doesn't go through it. It's like watertight. Mucus is surrounding the inside layer of the stomach because there are cells inside the stomach that produce acid. And then where does the mucus come from? Are you swallowing mucus? Where's the mucus coming from now? So the stomach is generating mucus? Yeah. SubhanAllah. There's only way. Because you're not swallowing the mucus. So it's you're right. There are mucus cells in the stomach. There's acid cells in the stomach. They're working together. One guy's making the mucus and one guy's making the hydrochloric acid. And what is the ayah? That for everything I've created, I made pairs. Pairs. SubhanAllah. So, everything in pairs. Miracles of the body. Okay. We have no more time. But essentially, this is a miracle that the meat does not get digested. Your own stomach doesn't digest it, but the other person's meat, the cow, the goat, the chicken, the fish, whatever, all gets digested. Amazing. How the system is designed randomly, by random stuff just flying together and meeting together, it's not possible. All right, there's a whole lot more. I mean, it's impossible to talk about everything. And this is just overview, high-level overview. This is not even detailed. In medical school, we spend about 2 months just learning about the GI system. Just GI system.
When you say that there are two parts of the stomach that makes the mucus and the acid,
Yeah.
is it different areas that make it, or
No, they're all together. No. SubhanAllah. Because the mucus gets excreted and then it stays there. It's not going to go. If I excrete the mucus here, it's not going to get to here. So the cells are all around, and the acid ones are also all around. SubhanAllah. All right. So, same thing with camel. I don't know about camel. I didn't learn that. They didn't teach me camel in medical school. MashaAllah.
Sometimes when the mucus breaks,
Yeah.
people get some ulcers.
Exactly. Wherever there is a lack of mucus, you can get an ulcer. And there's a certain bacteria called H. pylori. This is the bacteria that stops that mucus production at that spot because the bacteria is very strong. Once there's no mucus there, you get a hole in the stomach. It's called an ulcer. SubhanAllah. Very good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed these systems without us asking for it, without us thinking about it, without us appreciating it. These are things we don't even think about. We just eat the pizza and it comes out and we're all happy we ate the pizza. But all this stuff is happening behind the scenes that He designed, and there's no one that can create anything like this. There's no one can do this system. We're going to forget. If we tried to design something like this, we're going to forget all the other stuff. There's so much stuff behind the scenes we don't even know that is happening. This is just stuff that we think we can understand. But, I mean, there's stuff that we don't even understand yet. SubhanAllah. Best engineer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yasifun. SubhanAllah. Any other questions? سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين جزاكم الله خيرا